Hey, I'm Drew Thomas. This is a tutorial for How Great Is Our God in the key of G. So I'm assuming that you've heard How Great Is Our God by now. It's been out for 15 years. It's by Chris Tomlin. It's been sung in like 8,000 languages, and it's How Great Is Our God. I think it lived on the CCLI top 10 forever. So you're familiar with the song, I'm assuming. This is how to play it in the key of G. Now I'll go through the chords a little bit quickly here. If you aren't familiar with how to play the chords in the key of G, I've got a link to a video right up here that goes through it much more slowly in terms of finger positions for all those chords. So this song is extremely simple. It's technically two different chord progressions, but one's just a variation of the other. So for the verse, that chord progression is going to be a G for a measure, an E minor for a measure, and a C, and you hold that one for two measures. So you play that for the intro as well as the verses. The verse progression, you're going to play through it twice total before you move on to the chorus. Now for the chorus, again, it's pretty much the same progression. There's just a little variation, and it's the same progression in the chorus and the bridge. Still going to be the same start. You're going to do the G. You're going to go to E minor. Those both get a measure. You go to the C for just one measure this time, and then you do a D major chord for the last measure. And then again, you loop it and you play through it again, and then you finish the whole chorus. So G, E minor, C, and D for the chorus. When you're playing the verse, you just leave that D off. Extremely simple song. I have to believe that that's part of the reason that this song resonated so well, is that it was really easy for worship bands to play. The range is just over an octave. In the key of G, you're going from a low B to a high C, so just over an octave. So it's really easy for your congregation to sing this in the right key. And then musically, there's nothing super complicated going on. So it's really easy for worship teams to pick up and be able to play it and do it well. So G, E minor, C for the verses, G, E minor, C, D for the chorus. Now there's one specific bass walk that I like to do, and that you'll hear the bass player do on a recording. In the intro or the verse, they like to walk this G down to the E minor. So right there, what you're doing is you're going from the G, and then you're going to use, I like to use my index finger to hit an F sharp to get to the E. So that just makes the bass line walk down from G, F sharp, E. Just gives it a touch more interest than going straight to the E minor. So that's something that I like to do when I'm starting off the verses or the chorus or the instrumental at the beginning. G, just to give it a little bit more flair. So that's all the chords for this song. Really, really simple. If you want, you can add a little bass walk or add a hammer on or something like that. But super easy to play, very singable for your congregation. Now dynamically, it's just going to start off small and it kind of grows and gets bigger as you work through it. On an acoustic, it stands fine. If you have a band, then you can build it up even more. Now, either way, whether I'm playing with a band or if I'm playing just solo, I almost always leave the last chorus dropped down. So we'll go through the bridge big, we'll go through a big chorus or two or three, but then we'll always do one more chorus at the end that's just the voices, or maybe a tiny bit of strumming going on just kind of to keep time. I can't tell you what it is about this song. Maybe it's the simple lyrics, maybe it's just that it's a very well-crafted melody, but hearing the voices on this ring out at the end of the song is just extremely powerful. So, great song. I'm sure you're aware of that. That's how you play it in the key of G. If you want to hear my full version of it with the words and everything, you can click on the link right up here. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Drew Thomas, the Barefoot worship leader. Thanks for coming.